All right, it says we are live. Hey, welcome everybody once again to Astronomy Daily Live. Another OBS session tonight. So I'm just currently taking my flat fields, and I know that you can't see this and the quality is pretty terrible, but I hope everybody's doing well out there in the universe and the world. Just want to say howdy to Carolina Sky Astronomy in the chat. Andy, nice to see you too. Bobby, hey, Uncle Bill. Great to have everybody back. So yeah, I'm just taking my calibration data here, taking my flats. As you might be able to see there, I've got my white t-shirt on the front, and I'm pointed approximately towards the, well, you know, the horizon. I actually have a house in the way. If I look west here, so it's not I can't really look exactly where I want to look in terms of that, but I'm definitely pointed in a nice gray part of the sky towards the southwest over there. So looking really good. These are going to be some pretty good cows. Um, the, the the trick, if you want to call it, with the flat fields is to make sure that the data values are somewhere in sort of the linear range of the sensitivity of the CCD. If your data values are too low or too high, then the CCD pixels aren't, they don't really behave in sort of a linear way. They do weird things. So the trick is to, should I do, yeah, I might as well do a 3-second set too here. Is to keep the data values, or at least the maximum value, somewhere between about 1/3 and 2/3 of the dynamic range of the CCD camera. So this camera is an SBIG ST7. And hey, I wanted to say howdy to Chuck, Tom, Page Master. Hey, nice to see you. Hope everything's well. So this is an SBIG ST7. It's a 16-bit camera. So data values can go from 0 to 65535. 2 to the 16th is 65536, but we start from 0. So I like to keep my flat field data values, at least the max value, somewhere between about 20,000 and 50,000, somewhere in there. And so I do that by, of course, I have to wait until it's sort of dusky out. The sun has to be set, otherwise there's, there's color in the sky. I want a pretty gray sky, and this isn't perfect, this isn't ideal, but it's the second best way of doing it. And our results in terms of photometry sort of speak for themselves. All right, I'm going to switch to darks now, and I guess I'll take 20 each of those. That's a pretty good sample. So yeah, I've got to keep the flat field data value somewhere between like 20,000 and 50,000, something like that. So during sunset or sunrise. Hey there, Atta. Nice to see you. So during sunset or sunrise, of course, the brightness of the sky changes. So have to sort of adjust the exposure time. But the trick um, uh, uh, is to set the exposure time such that I'm getting those kind of data values, and I want to get as much data as I possibly can. I've got a limited amount of time because it's the sun is setting and it's getting darker and darker, and I want to keep the exposure time short because the longer the exposure time, the more dark current I have to deal with, and even though I subtract those out, which is what I'm doing now, I'm taking my darks for my flats. So for every exposure time of my flats, I will take, in this case, I've chosen 20 darks. So I've taken a number of 1 second flats, a number of 2 second flats, and a number of 3 second flats. So now I'm taking 20 3 second darks, 20 2 second darks, and 20 1 second darks. And so that's what I'm doing right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, with this computer, I have the ability to adjust things a little bit here. There we go. So yeah, sorry that the video is probably lagging a little bit. It looks a little cranky from my point of view here, but hopefully everything is moderately decent on your end. I am keeping track of the chat, making sure that the shenanigans are adequate. Good. Atta, I've got to get some of those ears. So, and yeah, they actually do. They match your skin really. I mean, you sort of have to, sort of carefully look. It's like, okay. So yeah. Okay. Good. Well, I'm glad that the video is coming in relatively well. Okay, so now I'm going to switch to my 2 second darks. It's another beautiful evening here. Had a little bit of buildup of clouds. You probably can't see those over there, but there's some clouds over the mountains. So they're way over there, so no problem there at all. Oh, here are my current conditions. Let me see if I can. I'm gonna have to. Sorry. Let me. Here we go. Oh, I don't know what I did here. I pushed the wrong button. I think this is it. So it's kind of hard to see there. Sorry. Anyway, 72 degrees Fahrenheit right now, and the humidity is too low to measure, which is just what I like. So I'm taking my 22 second darks, and yeah, now it's once I get my flats done, then I can sort of chill and not worry too much about anything else. Those flats are sort of time critical, because the sun is setting, and so I've got to. But no, I got a good set, and tonight I'm going through the blue filter. Now, one of probably the biggest problem, if you can call it a problem, that this system has is that it really doesn't have the correct kinds of filters. I have the photographic R, G, and B filters, which would, you know, which is fine. If I didn't have any filters at all, I would kind of be, there's not good science I can do with sort of broad band photometry. Okay, so I got the 2-second exposures done. I'm going to switch to the 1-second exposures, take 20 of those. I'm going to go over and make sure that these are actually being saved. Yes, okay, very good. Always have to do the sanity checks on that. So yeah, I've got the R, G, and B filters. Now, what I really should have is the Johnson U, B, V, R, and I 5 filters. Now, with RGB, okay, R is relatively close to the Johnson R. G is relatively close to the Johnson V, as in Victor, and the B is relatively close to Johnson B. So what I've done and what is done. Hey there, Astro Live channel, nice to see you. Glad you could come in. Yeah, Eskimo tonight. I'll talk about that in a moment. So Astro Live channel. This is an SBIG ST7. I think it's an ST7ME parallel port. It's a little old school, but that's what I've got. It's a good camera, so no problem there at all. One has to work with the cards that are dealt. So these are the cards that have been dealt. So this is what I am working with, and yeah, I mean it's actually working out really, really great. But what I can do and what I have done is I've taken images of open clusters that have a number. Oh, there's a kitty over there. That have a number of different colored stars in them, and I have taken data of the same cluster with the R and the G and the B, and what I can do is I can take those colors and I can compare them to the B, V, and R colors, the Johnson colors. And interestingly enough, there's a linear relationship between those two systems. And so I can find out, I can measure what that relationship is. And then I can take my R, G, and B photometry and transform them into B, V, and R Johnson colors. So no problem at all. That adds one level of error, because it's supposed to be a linear relationship, and for the most part it is, but because it's data, I've got a little bit of scatter. So it adds a little bit of error. So the error bars in my measurements are going to be a little bit larger, but so be it. That's what I've got. But that's the only problem I would say that this system has. And I'm gonna sneeze, and then I'm gonna increase my gain. I'm gonna sneeze. Yeah, that was about a 9, I would say, maybe an 8.5. Let's see if I can increase the gain here anymore. No, let me increase the brightness. There we go. It's getting really choppy here. I can increase the exposure time too a little bit. Okay. All right. There we go. So, all right, I'm going to do that. And so, yeah, tonight's plan is two objects actually. The first is going to be the Eskimo Nebula. It's NGC 2392. Is that? I forget exactly. I don't have my thing out here yet. So I'm going to sit on that for a couple hours. It's over in Gemini, which is west of me here, and of course setting. But I'm gonna have at least a couple hours on it, and the only reason why I am looking at that at all is because one of the things that I want to do with this system, thank you, Page Master, and I'm actually marketing this now. I'm selling telescope time, primarily to students. That is my first market that I'm sort of going after. Students who want to do some kind of a unique science project. They need data, and my location here is very, very dark, and it's clear a lot of the time. So the possibilities of actually getting data are good, and I've got a dark sky, so I can actually see things. And what I also advertise is that the quality of the data is very, very good. I can get about 50 millimagnitude accuracy in terms of photometry, and about the same in terms of precision. Maybe a little bit better with the precision, maybe around 30 millimagnitudes or so. And in terms of astrometry, being able to measure positions of objects, I can get to about 1/3 of a pixel or so, between 1/4 and 1/3 of a pixel, depending on how you do centroiding. And with 1x1 binning on this, that's about 1/3 of an arc second. So the astrometry is really, really good. Photometry is adequate, right? So I'm not going to see exoplanet transits, not yet. I'm still thinking that that's a possibility here, but I haven't really gotten into that much. I definitely know that I can see um, uh, uh, um, like eclipsing binaries, uh, very, very well. Binary stars. So yeah. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to characterize this system with different kinds of objects, and I I've observed and have data on the little planetary nebula behind Messier 46, but it's small and it's faint, and you know, honestly, I haven't looked at that data yet. That is one of the things that I have to do, but I'm kind of interested in seeing what a brighter planetary nebula looks like, and the Eskimo is there. It's pretty small. Yeah, I'll just sort of have to see what it looks like here. So that's plan one. I'm also using the same line of reasoning. I'm also wanting to see what I can do with globular clusters, and there's a wonderful globular up. It should be up even by now, I think, called Messier 5, M5. It's a huge globular cluster over in sort of the Ophiuchus area. I'm not exactly sure what constellation M5 is in, but it's over in that area, and so that is target number 2 is Messier 5. I also have a longer term project looking at the variable star called R Leo. It's I have to look this up, but it has a variability period of something like 300 days or so. Pretty much every single night I'm out here, I'm going to grab 50 or 100 images of that, just to get some good signal to noise, and over the course of the next year or so, I'll be able to plot a light curve. Its peak brightness was maybe about, I don't know, 60 or 70 days ago or so. So it's still really, really, really bright. And trying to remember what its min max is. I want to say that its max is like maybe like magnitude 5.5 or so. Serpens, thank you, Page Master. Over there somewhere. um, uh, um, and I think it gets down to about maybe like 10th magnitude or so at its minimum. Now, this is a star that's actually, expanding and contracting, expanding and contracting. And so it gets bright and dark and bright and dark and bright and dark because of actual dynamics within the star itself, as opposed to the eclipsing binary stars, which also show a variable light curve, but they look completely different. So yeah, that is the plan for today. The stars are starting to pop out. I see Capella over here, over in my northwest. Let's turn around, and again, my apologies for the quality of this video. YouTube and all their wisdom and stuff removed the ability for channels that have less than 1,000 subscribers to live stream on their smartphones. That was a really, really great thing because I could sort of take you around and show you my screen here and all that. So yeah, yeah. The dumbbell is really great, except it's just not up right now. You know, it's up much later in the evening, and you know, I don't right now. I don't have any paying clients, so I don't have any obligation to observe whatsoever at all. You know, this is for you know, um, um, just my own stuff. Um, uh, so very cool. HST was deployed on this day in 1990. It was deployed. Wow. Yeah. Was Tom, was the HST, was it carried up by which shuttle brought the HST up there? Was it, man, I want to say that it was Columbia, but I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah, the you know, in terms of diffuse nebulae, I definitely have to get into that. I'm probably going to wait until you know, Sagittarius and Scorpius and all those are up, because at this point, um, right at this point, Orion is beginning to move behind my house, and although I can see the three stars in the belt still over here, by the time it gets dark, they're going to be pretty darn low. They're actually going to probably be maybe I don't know, 15 or 20 degrees above the the horizon. So it was Discovery. Okay, cool. Um, Excellent. So yeah, I'm seeing Sirius, I'm seeing Betelgeuse, I'm seeing Capella, Procyon. We got over here Arcturus. Arcturus is over here. Spica, there's Spica, Regulus. So yeah, we are ready to rock and roll. I think, you know, since I'm going to be over in this part of the sky, I'm going to do my sky alignment on Arcturus and Spica. I think that's probably the best way to go there. And yeah, yeah, you know, uh, I don't really mind uh, if I don't have a full Western view here, because of course, if things are rising over here, I've got a pretty clear shot. Except, you know, you can see I've got a clothesline here, but you know, except that I've got a clear east, I've got a clear south, and I mean I have a clear north, so it's just to my west. And you know, if anything is going to be blocked, I I uh, um, I want the west to be blocked. And yeah, it is galaxy season. I've got some pretty good data on M65, which I'm actually looking at. I've got some B um, um, pictures, and I've got some G pictures of those. So I'm actually looking at the color of Messier 65, and so yeah, that's pretty much covered. You know, I'm not doing astrophotography. I'm doing uh, science. So I'm not so much interested in just grabbing images. I have to have a reason, you know, to actually do those kinds of things. And I think I think I've pretty much decided that at least what I want to start working on for the foreseeable future is eclipsing binary stars. For some reason, those have really grabbed my interest, and they're really interesting. And you can actually see things happening. Um, I think my focus, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I think my focus for research, probably over the next year or more, is going to be eclipsing binary stars. Hey there, Kira. Nice to have you back. So, yeah. Went into Tucson last night. Met up with Pamela Gay, and uh, uh, that was really fun. Sandy Springman was there too. She's a grad student at the Lunar and Planetary Laboratory, um, right at the University of Arizona. And Pamela actually works for the Planetary Science Institute, which is also in Tucson. See, the reason why I moved to Southern Arizona in the first place, was because Tucson is the astronomical center of the universe. It's the greatest place in terms of doing astronomy. And, you know, why would I settle for anything but the best? So yeah, I mean, I moved here because astronomy is here. Um, anyway, so they were there. There was also another lady. She had a couple of kids with her. I think she was some kind of an astronomer. I'm not quite sure. Um, it all three of these ladies knew one another, or know one another pretty well. So they were having these conversations, and I was just clueless, right? I was just like, I don't know, they're talking about people and this and that, and it's just like, all right, I'm just gonna sit here and listen. So so um, so yeah, but it was great. It was great. Uh, Pamela is exactly uh, what you see on the screen is exactly how she is in person. Um, we all sort of put a persona on to a certain extent. Um, and Sandy is exactly the same way. She's absolutely great, great energy, and really smart. Sandy worked at the Arecibo radio observatory in Puerto Rico, where she imaged asteroids with radar. So yeah, but yeah, they were talking about various things. Sandy's really into like camping and hiking and caving and all of that. So she was talking about that, and um, Pamela um, uh, was just lamenting about the loss of funding for CosmoQuest. She is worried about all these things. So it's way high on her mind. Um, yeah, Chuck, Tombstone is cool. I'm as the crow flies, I'm about maybe about 20 miles from Tombstone. Um, takes a little bit longer to drive there, though. It probably take me about 45 minutes to get to Tombstone from here. Because it's windy. Um, anyway, so yeah, it was nice. One always has expectations. But I like to go into these kinds of situations just sort of like just have fun, and that's exactly what I did. yeah, really, really nice. It was just us few. This lady with the two kids, she had to go early because the kids, were starting to go crazy. So yeah, I mean, it was basically just me and Pamela and Sandy the whole time, and just they chit-chatted back and forth, and you know, I tried to keep up, and but yeah, they're both in completely different worlds than mine. My world is sort of slow and calm, and um, no turmoil, no insanity, um, and their lives are very, very busy, very, very intense, and I don't know how they multitask the whole time. And the whole time, Pamela on her smartphone was playing Pokemon, and I've heard of that, but I don't know anything about it at all. So every 5 or 10 minutes, she'd look over to her phone and do something, um, and I sort of I was right there, so I looked at the screen, and I have no idea what it is, right? But so while she was having these really fast-paced conversations, with this other two ladies, she was playing um, Pokemon on her phone. So their ability to multitask is really, really amazing. I mean, everybody multitask to a certain extent, but their ability, to do that is really, really amazing. And you know, um, I I uh, uh, I think that they're absolutely great, but they that experience really reminded me um, how much I am grateful that I didn't stay in sort of the academic realm. Um, you know, I've told the story many times that while I was a student there, I observed and noticed what the PhDs were doing, and 70-80% of their time was taken up writing proposals for grants, the National Science Foundation grants, NASA grants, all this. Um, about 25, okay, so let's say, 70% of their time, was taken up um, writing proposals for money. 25% of their time was working with their students, advising them, meetings, uh, discussions, that kind of thing. And maybe 5%, maybe 10%, if they were lucky, um, was actually doing the work that they want to do. And I saw that, and I said, no way, no way. Why do I want to get into that? Right? I want to do this, right? I want to work with data. I want to do science. I want to write papers. You know, that's it. So yeah, it's and you're exactly right. The politics are it's just insane, absolutely insane. Uh, the stories I heard last night are just like, holy moly. So yeah, that that to me is no fun, and they would agree that it's no fun. I think everybody would, but you know, I respect everybody's choice, and you know, that's what they want to do. That's what they think they have to do. I have a different idea about how astronomy can be done, um, and and uh, um, and so yeah, you know, we have our different paths, and I completely respect theirs. I think they are absolutely fantastic, right? And Sandy, I mean, she has such a future. She's still really young and bright, just incredibly bright. So I mean, she's just incredible. And Pamela is exactly the same. She's just incredibly intelligent, knows so much. And, you know, they can juggle all this stuff. And, you know, I'm listening to this and it's like, I don't know how you can keep up with any of that, right? But I guess, you know, when you're in it, it's sort of a different thing. So yeah, you know, hopefully they're having a little bit of fun. I know I am. So speaking of fun, I think I'm going to go ahead and do my sky alignments. So I'm going to take the uh, the the t-shirt off of the scope here. The light from the laptop is definitely illuminating uh, the environment here really well. Whoop! I think I just where are we? There we are. Okay, I'm sideways. Look at. um, okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do my sky alignment. Hope you can hear and see me. All right. So we'll just get over here, and I'll go ahead and do that. So I'm just gonna do the alignment on. I'll do it on Arcturus and Spike, and then we'll get a focus. And you know, astronomical twilight um, ends ends at three, I think 3:28 UTC. So to survive in the academic world, they will have to be courageous as well as intelligent. It takes both. Yeah, and I think that they will do just fine. That's just you know, I don't I I could I could do that, but I don't want to. Yeah, no, just don't want to. That's too much. Too much. Okay, so I'm gonna go for Arcturus. So what I need to do, whoops, sorry about that, is here I'm gonna uh-oh. Uh-oh. Lost my camera. Uh Hold on, I'm trying to fix this. Hold on. Come on. Mr. Camera is not the video is deciding to not come up. So let me see what I can do about that. Dang it. Don't know exactly why. No Logitech webcam detected. You guys hear me still? Let me know if you can hear me. Because if you can hear me, then that's okay, I suppose. But I don't know why. All I did was move this camera a little bit, and it decided to go wonky. But I'm not getting any video for some reason. Let me try a couple of things here. Sorry. See if I can get the camera back. It's funny because the audio is coming through the camera too. Yeah, okay. It sees it. Hold on. Ah. Ha. Okay. All right. So I know that you're not going to be able to see this screen very well, but I'll do it anyway here. So I'm going to go to tenth of a second exposures. I've got my red light here. Tenth of a second exposures. Really the only reason why I'm using a red light is because I don't have to have dark adapted eyes. There's no reason at all. But red light doesn't hurt quite as much. So, all right. So I'm just going to start this going 3x3 binning, so it'll go pretty fast. Because the first thing, of course, to do is to acquire these stars. Okay, so the first thing I've got to do actually is set the time and date and all that. So I'm going to do that first. Go to the paddle, 2-star alignment, and we're going to go 1948.00. So here it's 7:48 p.m. Local time. It's kind of a neat optical effect. I don't know if you can see that that round thing there. Here we go. 2, 1, bam. Standard time, Mountain Standard Time, and it is April 25th here still. Although this live stream is for the 26th because it's actually what 2:48 UTC. There. Okay, so now we're going to go to Arcturus. We'll go to Spica. No, it doesn't matter. Let's go to Arcturus. Doesn't matter which one is first, which one is second. We'll go to Arcturus first. So here we go. I'm going to try to slide this over a little bit. Can you see the scope? Yeah, not really. Not really. That's all right. Turn on the little finder scope here, and we'll get Arcturus in the field of view. Bam-o. Oh, gotta start the series here, I guess. There's Arcturus. I know that you really can't. There it is. Do you see it? You see it right there? And I have been having been having a little bit of problems once in a while with my shutter. I get this shutter error, so that's an indication that the hardware is starting to break down a little bit. So yeah, usually what I have to do is I have to sort of quickly cycle power on the camera itself. So I have to disconnect. I hate doing. And cycle power. which I also hate doing. It took 3 images and then it froze up. Camera not found. Great. There it goes. Got to make sure the temperature is still on and running. And of course, during that time, it warmed up a little bit. Okay, so now let's see if we can. Ooh, no, it's still not doing it. Oh man. Yeah, Mr. Shutter is not happy. So, stick with me here, folks. I'll try to deal with this on the fly here. This means that the hardware is starting to wear out a little bit. Which is not nice. Yeah, now that shutter is not behaving. So let me cycle power on it again. Not a good sign, actually. Cycle power again. Take a look at chat. Got the power back on. Reconnect. Make sure the temperature is okay. And take an image. Well, that's not good. Yeah, getting a shutter error. Shutter is not doing its job. I wonder if I can. Yeah, it's not even going to let me take a bias image, which doesn't involve the shutter at all. Well, dang. Let me do something a little bit more insane. And that is, I'm going to shut down the application here to CCD Soft. And I'll cycle power. Well, Houston, we have a problem. Yep. Okay, camera back on. Reconnecting. Connecting okay. Just do a light image. There it goes. All right. It's running now. Okay. Not a happy astronomer tonight. No. Okay. Now, can we get Arcturus, Alpha Boides? Can we? Is it okay? Camera, telescope, is it okay if we do this? Okay. Thank you. Whiz. Man, freak me out. So you can see it here. And sorry again, my apologies for the poor, poor quality here, but that's how it goes. I'm going to try to scooch him over a little bit. Probably scooched him too much. Yep, I did. So I want to put it right in the middle, as close to the middle as I can without going insane. I think that's going to be pretty darn close. Let's go with that. Bam. Okay, so now we're going to go to Spica. Alpha Virginis, Page Master. Gotta look it up on my little list here. Okay, here we go. Going over to Spica. You guys hear the barking dogs? It's the country. Doggies bark in the country. Okay, where's Spica? In there somewhere. Yeah. There's unfortunately very little control over instrumentation. Where are you, Spica? There you are. Hello, Spica. I'm going to focus on Spica too once we get this alignment done. Scooch him up a little bit. Scooch him a little over, a little up, a little down. A little this way, a little that way. Yeah, I really don't understand why that shutter is doing that. It started to do that a couple of weeks ago, and I'm almost. I think I'm gonna try to find out if there's anything I can do, because maybe it's just I live in a really dusty environment, so maybe it's just dust that is sort of getting in there and creating a little bit of trouble. So if it's just a matter of blowing it out, man, I can do that. So I'm gonna try to find that out a little bit, because that is just unacceptable behavior. They're trying to get this guy centered here. Looks like the focus is pretty darn good, but I'll put the batten off on there anyway, of course. Okay, so we're pretty close here. Scooch him up a little bit. All right, I'm gonna let him drift in. Oh, shoot, went too far. So I'm gonna have to let him drift in a little bit more. I'm on my knees here. Knees to the telescope. Have to bow to the telescope. Submit. Okay, that's gonna go right in the middle. Yay. Here we go. Bam. Alignment success. Okay, so now I'm going to throw the batten off on there. Those of you who don't know what a batten off mask is, here it is. What it does is it changes the the so-called entrance pupil from a nice round aperture to this highly distorted thing, but it has a particular pattern that makes it such that when you put it on, that it allows you to focus. I've shown you this before, so I'm not gonna go too much into it. It looks like the focus is pretty close, but definitely go a little better. I think that I think that's just about right. Okay, yay. So we're focused. Remember to take the batten-off mask off. Get it off my knees. It's a beautiful dark night. Batten-off mask is off. Put it over there so I don't forget it. And yeah, we are ready to rock and roll. So, you know, I did this last time too, and I don't know what sometimes I'm thinking. So I'm going to be observing M5, which is over here, but that's not my first target. My first target is way over here. So my alignment is going to be really, really weird. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell the telescope to move over to Procyon, and we will see how far it goes. Take care, Atta. Have a great evening, and I will see you later. Thanks for coming in. I've got all kinds of bugs on the screen here. Yeah, it's that time of year. Time of year for sure. Oh no, I got another shutter error. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Oh man. Yeah, I'm getting another shutter error. Great. Well, we go through the same exercise, I guess. That's not very nice. Cycling power on the camera when it's cold is not a good idea. It's okay, but you know, it's gonna try to warm up really, really fast, and that's not good for it. Okay, let's see if I've got it. Nope. Oh no. Well, shoot. It's not very nice. Yeah, I'm gonna get another shutter error. Wow. That's not good. I'm gonna have to. I'm definitely gonna have to work on this because, of course, this is a showstopper, major showstopper. I guess I'll go through the same thing, shut the whole thing down, which of course I don't like to do. Start it back up. Reconnect. Let's connecting okay. Temperature is still, control is still on. And there it goes, it's going. Nope, nope, nope. It took one. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so for some reason it's doing that, which I don't want it to do. Okay, so now it's working again. All right, well, I'm not too happy about that, but yeah, I'm gonna have to find out about that. Maybe it just needs a blow. Yeah, I don't think it's the cable because the software is connecting to the camera okay, so it's a hardware thing um, on the camera itself. But okay, well, I've got it at the moment. I'm going to tell it to go over to Procyon. I'm just going to proceed. We'll go over to Procyon, see how close, see how good the pointing is with Procyon. I still have 20 minutes before it's dark. So we're going to go over to Procyon here and see how good the pointing model is tonight. I'm going to have to scooch over here. And I can actually do another alignment on Procyon if I want to. No, not there. Didn't necessarily expect it to be there. There's always hope. I didn't expect. It's pretty close. I'm going to go ahead and do another alignment on Procyon. I'm going to do this again. And then I'm going to go ahead and do an alignment on Procyon. Switch Arcturus with Procyon. I think I missed in the first place. But, you know, that's how it goes. Procyon should be in there somewhere. There it is. Scooch them over. Basically do the same thing that I did before. Get them right in the middle. Each way is moving. That's pretty darn close. Right there. There, alignment success. Good. Okay. Well, you know, I left my notebook and my charts inside. I'm going to have to run in and grab those. Why don't I go ahead and do that? If you all can hang here just for a couple minutes, I'm going to run in and grab that stuff because I guess I'd sort of like to have you see the Eskimo Nebula images here. I guess you're not really going to be able to see it all that well anyway. But yeah, maybe I'll take you through that process, and then we'll go ahead and end the stream for tonight. So with that, I will be back in just a couple of minutes. I just have to run inside, grab my stuff, and I'll be right back out. I'm going to take my light with me here. All right, I'll be right back. All right, here I come. All right, here we go. I'm back. All right. Took a little bit longer than expected, but that's all right. Okay, I'm gonna plug this in. These are from my charts. I gotta go around this way. Looks like I'm still getting images. The shutter has not completely failed on me yet. For some reason. Oh, haha. Let's plug it into the right thing. Okay. So let's go ahead and get the Eskimo Nebula in here. Yeah. There you go, Bobby. Ah! All right, so I'm going to go ahead and stop that, and I'm going to go to 2-second exposures. 2 seconds. And 3x3. Yeah. Okay. So let's move over to the Eskimo Nebula and see what we see. I'm gonna get my chart up here. It's got to be somewhere here. Oh, come on. $23.92. Okay. panel, and I'm just going to go ahead and type in the right ascension and declination here for this guy. Go. Go to RA deck, and we're going to go 729, 29, 10.8, and positive 20, 54, 42. Let's see how well we do here and seeing things. Guess I got to start taking exposures, huh? Okay, so I'm not seeing it, but I'm seeing stars at least. And I'm going to assume that the pointing is off a little bit, so I'm going to start the process here of trying to identify star patterns that I'm seeing on the screen with star patterns on the chart, and hoping that I'm no more than half a degree off, more or less. We will see. So I'm seeing a line of stars there, pretty bright star there. Let's see if I can. I'm gonna have to move around a little bit, see what I can see. This is the challenging part. Is getting these targets. It's always pretty crazy challenge getting these patterns. I think maybe. No, I don't think so. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and make some wild assumptions. And my pointing is off by sort of the same as it has been. We will see. Not really seeing much of anything yet, but I'm gonna hang tight. Definitely seeing star patterns, just not anything that I can recognize very easily. Just got to be patient. Give myself the time I need to get it. Some pretty bright stars in the field of view, and some pretty faint ones. Boy, I should be able to. I'm thinking I should be able to pick that up. Let's see. I'll scooch those up a little bit. I've got about 10 more minutes until twilight ends, so I'm not too worried. There it is. Wow, it's really bright. I wish you could see it. it's a lot brighter than what I thought it was going to be. Really small. It's really, really small, but it is definitely there. Cool. Wow, it's a lot brighter than what I thought it was going to be. It's situated right next to a bright star. But wow, okay. I've got those two. Okay. Pointing. Oh, it's pointing right to those two. Okay. All right. Yep, I've got it. So I think I'm going to center this guy up because it's right next to a bright star, so it'll be a perfect reference star. But I need to have two stars in my field of view. In order for me to stack these things properly, there's two things that I have to deal with this data. The first is that the tracking isn't all that great. So the image moves around, right? Moves around, moves around, moves around. And the other thing that I have to deal with is field rotation. So as you know, this is an Alt-as mount. So you know, we see this field rotation. And so I need two stars in the field of view in order to find where I am and also correct for rotation. So I need two relatively bright stars, which I have in the field. And yep, it's updating. So yeah, I think I'm ready to rock and roll here. I wish there was a way. Let me see if I can so there it is, right? I can't really see. There we go. So there it is, right there. That is the Eskimo Nebula, and I know it's not focusing. Oh, there it goes. So that's a 2-second exposure, and you can see this nice bright star here. So I'll use this as a reference, and either that one or this one as a reference. Probably this one up here because it's a little brighter. In fact, I've got a couple of stars down here that I might be able to grab instead that are actually a little bit brighter. But yeah, there it is. That's it, right? Yeah. And you can see how each image, it's shifting around. See how it's going up? So I have to correct for that if I want to stack them. And of course I do want to stack them. So, all right, well, that sort of worked. So, okay, I think this thing is tracking for me here. Yeah, so there's one bright star. I think I probably want to lock onto those guys. Yeah, because that was down there. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I think I want to lock onto these guys instead. So okay. Let me show you what I'm up against here. Switch that over and yeah, I'll scooch that over a little bit and then I'll show you again. And then I'll let you go. I think it's about time to let you all go so I can get this nice tedious work done. So as you can see, I've placed the planetary nebula, the Eskimo Nebula, up here. Here's a bright star right here that I'm going to use, and here's another one down here. So with this star and this star, I'll be able to do my alignment, and I'll definitely be able to use that one too. So cool. Yeah, it's going to be some interesting driving, but yeah, I think that'll work out all right. So, okay, everybody. Well, I think I'm going to let you all go for today. Let me look at the chat really quick, make sure that the shenanigans so, well, yeah, Chuck, this is one of the things that I am looking at in terms of characterizing this system is, how well can I do with something like this? Is it worth doing? Is the quality there? Because that's what it comes down to is how good is the data. So okay, well, speaking of how good is the data, I think I'm gonna get on it. It's officially the end of astronomical twilight, which means it is dark, and oh yeah, it's dark. It's really dark, and that's why I'm here. The number one reason, number one above all else, right, way up here, is dark. It is dark. So, all right, everybody. Well, I'm going to get out of here for now. So thanks so much for coming in again. It's always great to see everybody. Spread the word about this. These OBS sessions are really fun. I'm glad you like them. This is sort of the life of the independent research astronomer. So, academic is okay, but I prefer working the science, and not only collecting data, but actually analyzing the data, writing the papers, doing all the analysis, all of that, and keeping the the politics and complex management and all that to a minimum. It's just me, and I'm hard enough to deal with. So I don't want to deal with anybody else. So, all right, everybody. Well, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna spend a couple hours on this target, and we'll see how it looks. We'll see how it looks. I will definitely post some images of just the raw images here. See how they look. Probably going to go to 3-second exposures, and I'll just run that for the next couple hours. And then, like I said, I'm going to move over to Messier 5, do that for a couple hours, and then I'll be done. So, okay, everybody, peace, cheers, and all that. Thanks so much again for coming in, and I will see you on one spin. I'll be back. Come on in. We definitely like you to come in whenever you want. So come on in. All right, buddy. Take care. I'm gonna push the stop button. See you later. Bye.